With a few days to the Edo State governorship election, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the state has refused to sign the peace accord for the election scheduled September 21st, 2024. The state governor, Godwin Obaseki, on Wednesday hinted about the development during a meeting with Abdulsalami Abubakar, the former military head of state and chairman of the National Peace Committee. Now, Obaseki alleged that the police personnel responsible for enforcing the peace accord are biased towards the All Progressives Congress. He claimed that several members of the PDP, including the local government chairman, have been detained by the police without sufficient evidence or valid reasons.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, has reacted to the People's Democratic Party's refusal to sign the peace accord initiated by the National Peace Committee to guarantee the conducting of free, fair, and credible elections across the 18 local government areas of the state. Here are matters arising ahead of the gubernatorial elections in Edo State. A number of the PDP did not sign the peace accord yesterday. The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Asuerime Akintunde Ighodalo, and his running mate, Mr. Osarodion Ogie, are allegedly facing criminal charges at the Code of Conduct Tribunal in Abuja. Suspected thugs of the PDP youths were alleged to have attacked members of the All Progressives Congress in Ekpoma, Esan West. The victims, Imoisili Inegbedion and Alfred, both of APC Ward 10, were ambushed by the assailants while on party duty.
Now, joining us to discuss this is the former Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Edo State, Andrew Emwanta. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, Osarugi. Good morning, Olive. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning. And good morning to our viewers at home.
Great to have you join us. 21st of September, everyone is looking forward to that date in Edo State as it stands. It's a little troubling, seeing that the PDP has refused to sign the peace agreement. So let's quickly start you with that one. What would you say is would you agree with Governor Obaseki's reasons for refusing to sign it?
All right.
Mr. Emwanta, we seem to, be struggling with your connection once again, but we'll see how we can fix that and, of course, get you in on the conversation. The elections are coming up in just a few days, and, of course, everyone is looking forward to, free, fair, peaceful elections in Edo State. There, of course, has been heightened tension in the build-up to the elections, right from the many months and the drama that has occurred leading towards the elections with the, primaries, the deputy governor, Philip Shaibu, and of course, is in and out of the PDP to the APC and all that. There's just been so much. But it has eventually led to the PDP, which is the ruling party in the state, refusing to sign the peace accord. The peace accord is normally signed by all parties that are going to be taking part in the elections in Nigeria. Every time there's an election, it is led by the Peace Committee, and of course, which has its chairman, Abdulsalami Abubakar, the former president. And so it normally should be signed by all the parties as an agreement that they will ensure a free, fair, and peaceful elections. And so the PDP now, of course, has decided that they would not sign the peace accord, saying that some of their members have been unduly arrested by the police in the build-up to the elections. And, of course, they would not put pen to paper on the peace accord until those persons have been released. But let's quickly share with you a former Deputy Governor of Edo State, current Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, and his response to Governor Godwin Obaseki's refusal to sign the peace accord.
It didn't come for me as a surprise. Withdrawing from signing was not a surprise because I'm aware that all their plans to cause mayhem and violence is already being curtailed. And such people will definitely not be part of any peace accord when they know that they want to perpetrate violence, and that violence have been curtailed. You see, when I hear the governor talking about constitution, I laugh because this is a man that is lawless. This is a man that will not obey court judgment. This is a man that will not even obey the oath of office he took as governor. He said Nigeria will burn. That's against oath of office. So when I hear him talk about constitution, I laugh because how can Governor Obaseki be talking about constitution? Constitution that he has breached and breached and breached many times. A man that does not have respect for traditional institutions, a man does not have respect for Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that he has breached many times. He's not talking about constitution. I laugh. It's shocking that Obaseki knows Constitution of the Federal Republic. He should go and read the interpretation clause and go and read talk schedule of the Constitution, the oath of office that he took. He took an oath that he will protect the integrity of Nigeria and the sovereignty of Nigeria. And the same man went out to say Nigeria will burn. And his talk also repeated it in Ipoboha that Edo will burn. So you can see everything about them is burning Nigeria, burning Edo State, which is against the oath of office I took and he took. We took oath of office on the same podium. So when I see him talk about Constitution, I say, Obaseki, he doesn't know Constitution. But the good news is that those that know the Constitution are ready to make sure that the Constitution is obeyed to the latter. And those that will not obey Constitution definitely will not sign peace accord.
Now, that's Philip Shaibu, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, who has spoken regarding the drama going on in Edo State. There have been a number of people who have been speaking. Tony Azegbemi has spoken as well. They have condemned the actions of the police. They have criticized the police and, alleged that the police is being biased regarding the APC. But I'm sure that we can have some clarity regarding this conversation. We have Andrew Emwanta joining us, and he would help to shed some light on this. Mr. Emwanta, you've heard what Philip Shaibu has said, and we want you to sort of give us an insight into, or a general outlook to, why the People's Democratic Party has refused to sign the peace accord, and if there's some element of logic to the arguments that they have put forward, especially regarding the police and its quote-unquote bias.
Yeah, thank you. It's quite unfortunate to hear that Obaseki is talking about, just as the Deputy Governor of Edo State said, Philip Shaibu is talking about the Constitution, rule of law. This is a man that does not believe that we have a Constitution in Nigeria. You saw the way he removed his Deputy Governor. It was well reported. How he evicted the man from Government House, and how, at the end of the day, the court gave an order reinstating him, and the man refused to obey that order. What is happening is simple. You also reported how the police orderly attached to the APC candidate was killed, the day himself and, the candidate and Shaibu arrived in under the cover of the Edo State Security Network, which, of course, yesterday the IGP has banned. And I think that's why the governor is not ready to go into the election. The plan is to rig the election using the instrumentality of that body. And as such, you discover that having banned that body, Obaseki's plan to rig the election has been foiled. So that's why they are saying that they will not sign the peace accord. If they believe in peace, if they believe in the electoral process, if they believe in constitutionalism, they will sign it. It's not a question of them complaining. The person that was arrested by the police was involved in attempted murder. Yesterday, the man was arraigned and he has been remanded. Nobody is above the law. What we are saying is that Edo State belongs to all of us. The governor cannot take everybody for granted. He cannot take us for a ride. We all fought for democracy, including my senior comrade, Philip Shaibu. Obaseki was not a stakeholder. He was busy pursuing stocks and all of that, double dealing and all of that when we were in the trenches fighting for democracy. So he does not know what democracy is. In 2016, this is a man that Oshomole supported to be governor. He didn't make any effort. The first time he voted was in his election. In 2020, PDP gave him their platform. Governor Wike, Danobi, and all of us came to support him. He betrayed all of us that supported him. This is the first election he's standing by himself, and he's crying wolf. We hear that they want to boycott the election. It is their democratic right. We had local government election last year. They prevented parties from properly participating. Parties boycotted. So PDP claiming that they will boycott will not be news. What will be news is if they now do a 360-degree turnaround, as the chairman was trying to do after the conclusion of the signing of the peace accord. You saw him trying to come, and they told him to go away. These are people, they have no plan for Edo State. Look at how they are run our state aground. Look at the economy of our state in complete mess. The truth of the matter is that PDP not signing that peace accord is nothing, because you have 17 political parties, 16 of them signed. It shows that PDP is ready to create violence, as they are doing already. Remember that in Esan West, the chairman led talks under the cover of the Edo vigilante, and somebody was almost killed. They injured a lot of people. A married woman was almost completely slaughtered. So Obaseki is out of violence.
Sorry, which of the chairmen are you referring to?
The man of his police, of his special police. He has a special police called Edo State Security Network. So we were so happy when the IG banned that body, because that body has become a nuisance. They hide under the cover of that body to commit all kinds of atrocities. They use pump action, which is a prohibited weapon. Most of the weapons they use are not authorized by the police, because for you to use a firearm, it must have a police license. There's a particular man who is allegedly involved in the murder. His name is Olaye. The deputy governor referred to him as one of the persons who said in the local government that the Edo State will burn. This is a man who is running from justice, a fugitive from justice. Obaseki is housing about 15 of them in government house. So the statement by the IGP banning that group therefore means that these people, they don't have their own army again to operate. They are not going to subject themselves to the known and constrained authority of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is Nigerian Police Force. Section 214 is very clear on the duties of the police. No other police force under Section 214 can operate. So if the ban has come at a time like this, and PDP is crying below murder, it shows they are not ready for the election. They are not ready to abide by the Code of Conduct laid down by INEC. INEC is the body responsible for conducting that election.
Just to be clear,
be ready to abide by whatever conditionalities INEC has put in place for that election to take place.
Mr. Emwanta, just to be clear, the concerns, of violence in the Edo State elections, and heating up the polity, it's not just from the PDP. We spoke about a CJID survey that was carried out, and it says that 71% of respondents believe that the Edo State elections will be violent. And that is because of the build-up to the elections, and the statements that have been made from all sides, not just the PDP. And so are you painting a picture, to make the APC seem like it is, only completely interested in free and fair elections? Nobody has been violent, nobody's pushing for violence, in the elections.
Remember that the government that controls the Edo State environment is the Edo State government led by the PDP, Godwin Obaseki. And as such, because they perceive that the elections will not go their way, look at the way they conducted the last local government election. People were beat up. They beat people up. They did all kinds of things. But this time around, it's an election to be organized by a national body, the Independent National Electoral Commission. So that's why they are a bit frigid, because last year's election, PDP did very poorly. And the only way they can achieve anything is when they have their own vigilante in place. So the plan was to use that body to rig the election. Now that that body has been disbanded. And why was that body disbanded? People hiding under the cover of that body to foment all kinds of violence and inflict injury on, helpless citizens. We've seen situations like the one that happened in the airport, where people at the gate thought, oh, these people were vigilante, and they opened fire, and unfortunately, the police orderly of our candidate died. And after that time, they've moved from community to community. The impostor that called himself Deputy Governor that Obaseki appointed, or more by Godwin's, he moves around with this vigilante in Akoko Edo. They move with all kinds of weapons, assault weapons. So we must reduce the use of arms, and the only way we could have achieved that was banning these non-state actors using arms. And by the time this has been done, you discover that they are now complaining, they are now shouting. They didn't say they will boycott the elections. It is after that ban, the issue of boycott came up. Though the governor was saying it just to put the IG, on notice that, if they ban that body, they will not participate in the election. We saw a news story that the governor has threatened that they will boycott the elections. PDP is one out of how many parties? If they don't participate in the election, it will not be history. People have previously boycotted elections organized by the SEC, which is in the pocket of Obaseki. So the heavens will not fall. I know people are ready to vote, and they're going to vote a party that they believe in. And I can tell you that the APC is on ground. APC is on ground in the local government.
Now, permit me to interject at this point. I want to talk about the legality or otherwise of, the claims that have been made by Anthony Azegbemi, the PDP chairman. And I want to ask you this, especially because you're a lawyer and there's a due process for how arrests should be made. There have been allegations leveled against the police about how Collins Osaibu, the Esan West local government chairman, I'm not quite sure, his portfolio, but there have been allegations that he's been whisked away at 4 a.m. by the police. And there was a long list that was read. I'm sure you must have seen the clip where Anthony Azegbemi was naming the people that have been whisked away by the police in the past 2 weeks. They say that their members do not feel safe and they feel like their members have been particularly targeted. So do we have clarity as to, the truth or otherwise of these claims? And if they are true, is this how things should be run?
can I quickly say that it does not matter when an arrest is made. These are people who have been involved in all manners of violence. The fact that they did one recently and they are being apprehended does not mean that the police will not do their work. The governor was trying to influence the process. The former commissioner of police was in bed with Obaseki. When Obaseki unilaterally banned some individuals who operate as youth leaders in Benin-speaking areas called Okiagele, it was a commissioner that labeled these people as cultists. That particular commissioner of police was partisan because he was working the script of Obaseki for this election. So they brought in a new commissioner who insisted that the right thing should be done. When Police Agbogun was arrested, they found some firearms with him. And when they noticed the governor was trying to influence the process, because the people came from the IGP's office, the IRT, they had to transfer the case to Abuja because that was where the petition was written. And of course, the law, section 35 of the Constitution says that once a person is arrested, you cannot keep him beyond a particular period. You must arraign him, before a court within a particular mile radius. And when you talk of that mile radius, that place can only be within the area where he was detained, for which, of course, his constitutional right to favouring means you must arraign him, which they did yesterday. The police have arraigned him, and he has been remanded. It shows that nobody is above the law. Obaseki, as I speak to you, the remaining of these persons involved in this violence is housing them in government house. He has even mobilized some of them to travel abroad. The truth is, we must not encourage political violence. It does not matter which political party is involved. Once the political violence is reported, the police have a duty of arresting those persons.
Right.
And if prosecuted, they are found guilty, they must face the wrath of the law, the full wrath of the law.
These statements that you've made are very strong allegations. Do you have proof? Can you confirm? You said that these men are within the
court. The man is being prosecuted for the.
I'm not talking of
Osaibo
Vona. I'm talking of the people who you have said that the governor is housing and is making plans to send abroad. Do you have proof of all of this? Say, linking them to the commission of crime.
Individual. Can I tell you the name of one of them?
Yes,
his name is
ahead,
Osarodion Ogie. There's a video which went viral when he went to Igbo. He came in the governor's convoy because he's one of those that have been declared wanted. This is a man that come into political meetings with a pump action. He's from my local government. One of the last meetings I attended, he came with a pump action. I confronted him. Osaibo, who is the chief of staff to the governor, when I reported this thing to him, said that, oh, please, I should leave him. That he has the protection of the governor, that he has the right to go with pump action. That after all, legacy PDP, they are coming to create problems. So it is a known fact. He's one of those in government house, Obaseki is housing. That murder case that took place at the airport is one of the suspects.
All right, Mr.
So
Emwanta, before we
uses
go,
his immunity to protect these persons.
yeah, before
And
we
for
go,
us, that is totally unacceptable.
kindly hold on. Before we go, I remember our last conversation. I had asked you about the APC candidate and his seeming fear of media scrutiny. He still, has not showed up, for any interviews. You promised that you were going to, have him join us, and speak with, the media on his plans for Edo State. And of course, be able to answer questions. He still hasn't showed up for any interview. I don't know if he has been to ITV or any of the stations in Benin, to answer, questions about his plans for Edo State. And if he hasn't, don't you think that's a major red flag that the candidate has not been able to put himself through tough questions and of course express himself to the people of Edo State, what his plans are?
It appears your question has even answered it, but I would just want to quickly make a clarification. Senator Mondo Bevolo is a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. When he ran for election last year, he attended many TV interviews. He campaigned across the various local governments of his senatorial, and he was elected. So I don't think this media hype. He was on BBC. Can you rate BBC as a local station?
I'm glad that you mentioned BBC.
Can I complete what I'm saying?
Okay.
He had a 30-minute interview where he sold his plans and program to Edo people. The truth is he cannot appear on all TV programs. I must have made a promise that he will come on TV News Central. But the truth is, this man is campaigning.
All right.
How intense?
He has not come to your TV station. He has not come to your TV. The fact that he has not come to TV Central does not mean he has not been on other.
He has been on other platforms.
Which other ones has he been on?
He's not a man of many words. He can choose not to be a man of many words, but a man of action.
But
and for us, it's more work and less talk.
Can we refer to the BBC interview that he granted? In that interview, he made a number of statements. One of them was that, he talked about fixing of roads and, a number of, the video did go viral, fixing of roads and, in a way, double charging the federal government for it. There was a clip that went, Can you explain, maybe what that was?
I think I can correct that very erroneous impression. Politicians use innuendos, they use all manners of, figurative expressions. He said that, the governor refused to fix federal roads, that Oshomole fixed federal roads and there was a refund of some billions of naira, that if, for instance, he uses 10 million, after some time, he can even demand for more. And there's nothing wrong in saying that I fixed this road for 10 million, but because of inflation and what have you, I'm asking for more. He didn't say he would like that.
That's not what he said.
What he said is...
He said I can fix it for. He said I can fix it for 10 million. Ask for 20 million from the federal government. For crying out loud, there's going to be an APC governor. Wait, can you let me explain what he meant? He's an APC governor. If he fixes the roads for 10 million and is asking for 20 million from an APC federal government, is there anything wrong with that?
Asking for 20 million, why? If he spent 10 million fixing the road, why is he asking for 20 million?
Would he tell the federal government, as he said, that I fixed this road for 10 million and I want you to give me? He made that statement, and I told you that politicians use innuendos. Did you say
this is not an innuendo, Mr. Emwanta? Why can't he ask for 200 million? What stops him from asking for 200 million?
No, the thing is, with profound respect, he made that just to say that, haven't done a good job, you can ask for more. That is the summary.
Ask for more from where and why? Ask for more why?
Mr. Emwanta, I think we're forgetting that...
Are you not from Edo State, Osarodion? Don't you know the state of roads? He can ask for more. As governor, I would have done that. The point is, he's saying, get the job done and you can ask for more. Get the job done and you can ask for more. There's nothing untoward about that. It is when you secretly
just to highlight,
as Obaseki does, that is wrong.
Just to highlight, they said that what was said was if I put 10 million naira there, that's on federal rules, I will claim 20 million from the federal government. It's completely different from saying if I do a good job, I will ask for more.
The fact that he has fixed the road, you can ask for more because the roads in Edo State are in a terrible shape.
All right.
Very terrible.
Mr. Emwanta, unfortunately, we've run out of time. We've run out of time, but we need to get to your word because the PDP team have just contacted us that they would like to have a conversation on Monday and they would like to challenge a number of things that have been said on the show. So we'd like to please ask that you will give us your word that you'll be back on Monday to have an extensive conversation on this.
I don't mind coming to your station physically because there are many things I want to discuss because we have a failed government in Edo State. I served as Commissioner for Information, I served as Commissioner for Youth and Humanitarian, I served as Commissioner for Gender. And Edo people must know that this one-chance government of Obaseki must be voted out come next week, Saturday. So
we'll see you on Monday then, so we can have a more robust conversation with the PDP representatives as well. Thank you very much, Andrew Emwanta. Do have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
All right.